Enchanting requires concentration and precision, but I'm just not feeling it. And with good reason. Well, she comes around. What? No, that's ridiculous.
What?
Greetings.
Greetings.
Ah, look around you. See how the people brighten the streets with their very presence. It is good to have this place inhabited once again. Your actions have caused beneficial reactions. Those you saved found others on their way to the city, and the mages have opened stable portals to Nirn, bringing aid to Cold Harbor. The city, King Dinar and Varnus have begun to rally the troops. They have called for a council to meet here in the Hollow City. There are decisions to be made, plans to draw up. The time for war fast approaches, and we need to be ready. If anyone who can help us remains in Cold Harbor, I am not aware of their presence. If you still wish to explore, however, you are free to do so. You shall find the Ayleid King and the Mage inside the cathedral. They await your arrival. Once you enter the cathedral, the preparations for the final assault to save Nirn will begin.
I feel safe enough in the Hollow City. But I should leave here tomorrow.
Remember our deal. I help you, then you help me. Everything else is just so much sound and fury.
The probability that any of us will survive this adventure, based on every calculation I could reference, is
All that work and worry, and here we are, helping the Mages Guild. It's like a dream come true. I can't wait to delve into a few more of these Cold Harbor dungeons.
This is so exciting. My first council meeting. At least, my first that didn't involve wood elves in a dark forest.
I'm curious to examine this plan that Vanus has come up with.
I heard there was an important meeting going on. I'm sure they meant to invite me. After all, important meetings lead to quests, and quests are my speciality. I'm always ready to smite evil and preserve the natural beauty of Cold Harbor.
I wish that Zur were here. He would have been shaking in his fur at the thought of going up against Molag Bal, but he also appreciated a good council meeting.
Look at this place. All fancy and formal. Everyone gathered, putting aside their differences to overcome a greater evil. How heroic. I expect this means that we're all going to die. Heroically, of course.
Let's make this quick. There's monsters out there that need killing.
The Mages Guild and Fighters Guild working together. I never thought I'd see the day. But with you helping us, I'm sure that everything will turn out fine.
It is time to have a revenge.
Varnus has assured me that his plan will work. We just have to put aside our differences and work together.
With the slightest amount of assistance from the Mages Guild, I have figured out how to cross the chasm and reach the planar vortex. The effort, however, will require the work of our combined forces. King Dinar will explain everything shortly.
Welcome, friend. We need to discuss the preparations for the coming assault, but I wanted to wait until you arrived. Do you have any questions before we begin? We need to end the plane meld before Nirn is destroyed. To do that, we must deal with the planar vortex. To reach the vortex, we need to cross the chasm and get through whatever defenses the Dark Lord throws at us. I fear battle is inevitable. Well said, friend. Please, hold your questions until everyone who wants to has had an opportunity to speak. After that, we can debate the details as you see fit. Attention, please. I have called you all here because the moment of destiny fast approaches. The great shackle has been destroyed, but not before a planar vortex was established. We must destroy this vortex before it sucks the very essences of Nirn into Cold Harbor. The Fighters Guild shall deal with the chasm's defenders, but blades have little power against magic.
And that's where my mages come in. Our scouts report that some kind of magical fixtures block access to the path across the chasm. Mages there already work on a way to overcome these fixtures, and we are prepared to lend our strength when the main force arrives.
A sound plan. Plays to our unique strengths. But this one wonders, what if the mages can't overcome Molag Bal's magic?
What a ridiculous question! Of course my mages can overcome this magic!
Ah, magic, the solution to all life's problems. I love magic, it's so magical. I have absolute confidence in Vanus and his mages.
Thank you, your lordship. But to be honest with you, I'm not feeling as confident as Vanus about this.
We shall fight with all our strength. There is no other option. Lives will be lost, but hopefully a world will be saved. Know that the chasm is only the first stage of this battle. The planar vortex abides within the very heart of Molag Bal's lair.
Oh, this just gets better and better.
Darian, mind your tongue.
Darien only seeks to lighten a tense situation. Still, we have to try. To do nothing is to doom Tamriel to certain destruction.
Well, when you put it that way, there are a lot of lovely ladies that need to be saved.
Yes, well, be that as it may. We launch our assault on the chasm immediately. The king needs to talk to the champion, and I must discuss some final details with the mages. The rest of you have your own preparations to see to, I'm sure.
It is settled. We shall cross the chasm and make our way to the planar vortex at the heart of Molag Baal's realm. Now that you know the plan, I have a special request to make of you. This mission needs a leader. I want you to lead the assault across the chasm. We have asked so much of you, and you have already accomplished the impossible. But you are one of a very small few that I would trust with this task. I knew we could count on you. You have never disappointed me. But there is so much left to do if we are going to win this war. Still, with you leading the charge, we have an excellent chance to end the plane meld and save our world. With the combined forces of the Fighters Guild and the Mages Guild, we must take the battle to Molag Bal and reach the portal to the planar vortex. It all starts at the chasm. Scouts are already in place, gathering information ahead of your arrival. It is a narrow, well-defended span of rock, swarming with Daedra and dominated by a gatehouse that blocks the way into Molag Bal's personal domain. Cadwell knows the region. He's a strange fellow, but I trust him. He's waiting for you at the chasm.
Ended up scattered all over the place.
Despite the lack of ingredients I'm used to dealing with, this desolate place isn't half bad. Nothing out of the ordinary for a lost city in Cold Harbor. But I'm not one to engage in gossip. Perhaps you should try one of the other merchants, or maybe ask...
The choice of decor was not...
Greetings. This will never ends.
Even though it was a trap, I wish I...
Oh, when I find that Stibbons, he will hear an earful from me.
For all the years I've...
Well, I'll be. Who knew what we were missing out on all this time?
Faraneel seems so at peace here in this city. Maybe she was right all along.
Everything is so beautiful here. I never thought I'd see anything like it. I think my people are starting to understand how important this decision really was. For all of...
I hope we made the right choice by coming here. Being surrounded by all this, though, it's so overwhelming.
I left my family back in Windhelm to come here. I hope I don't live to regret it.
Greetings. It feels good just to be able to sit by a warm fire and read again. It's been too long, really. If anything, it's a nice distraction. Takes my mind off everything that went on back at the cliffs.
Greetings.
We keep meeting in the most interesting places. Now, if only we weren't always fighting for our lives, that would be something. Anyway, thank you for setting us free.
Thanks to you, we were able to perform the task we were sent here to do. We've opened stable portals to Nirn. Now we can get supplies and more forces into the Hollow City. I'd probably still be out there skulking about in scam form if not for you.
It took a bit of work, but we finally stabilized the portals. Our people aren't getting scattered hither and yon every time they travel to Cold Harbor anymore. At least, not as long as they're traveling to the Hollow City.
The city is coming along nicely, don't you think? I'm not sure if we would have made it this far if not for your help. Thank you.
I can't thank you enough for freeing me.
Hello there.
Hello. One more and you'll be good looking.
This place is great!
Thanks to the stable portals. For once, I'm in no danger of running out.
Well met, my friend. We...
I like to come out here and just look at the trees.
Am I drunk or is it me?
It's good to see you live. We didn't make it as far as Tamriel, but at least we're no longer trapped by Grexiv.
To see everything so alive and full of energy pleases me greatly.
It is a stock.
You never know where I'll turn up next, so take
A secure vault makes for a confident heart.
I'm almost sorry to be stuck inside these walls. I'd love to get out there and get into the thick of the battle. As more and more people fill the city, things are constantly changing. I can't keep up with it all. It is an exciting time, though.
You brought hope to the Grey Mire. There is so little for my people. Thank you.
Well, this has my knickers in a twist. We have a perfectly fine army, but what good is it, sitting around this side of the chasm, twiddling its collective thumbs? It's rather embarrassing, if truth be told. The situation? We're well and truly flummoxed.
Before we could cross the chasm, before we could confront Molog Grunda, we were stopped by a few irksome focus stones. The wee ginger mage says we need to break the stones, but good luck with that. Nothing other than the multitude of Dremora sitting on top of them. I could handle this myself, but I didn't want to make the rest of the troops sad by showing off my awesome battle skills. But you, on the other hand, they're used to that from you.
Greetings.
I'm going to make it.
Darian has rushed on ahead.
Sinfei thinks she can beat a Nord in a contest? Especially a killing contest? Ha! By the time we're through, I'll have more Dremora hearts than I can carry.
The Gord and I have a wager in play. Just to make things more interesting, whoever collects the most Dremora hearts wins.
You did it! The portal is ours now! Darian Gautier and Walksanash have already led troops through to the other side. Darian was impatient. As soon as you broke the seals, he took some troops and went through the portal. Walksanash went along to keep him out of too much trouble. I'll use illusions to scout ahead and see what's waiting for us at the gatehouse.
Good show! The portal belongs to us now. Sir Darian and that lovely lizard have gone on ahead. I think he might be a bit intimidated by our prowess on the field of battle, and he's trying to compensate. Grunda's a cheeky one, and she knows we're getting close. She's summoning reinforcements faster than Darian can kill them. You'd best get to it. By all means, do you want to know how many Daedra can dance on the head of a pin? How I managed to stay so cheerful even in the most perilous of circumstances? What's my favorite color? Ask away. Mola Grunda, a large woman with wings, bit of a temper, guards the gatehouse. I hear that she's the daughter of Molag Ball, if you can believe that. He never struck me as a family man, but who am I to judge? It's my home, old chum, has been for years. I know every wondrous nook and cranny. Beautiful place, full of fascinating creatures. Of course, they often try to kill you, but that's the challenge of it, isn't it?
Denthis, Dethys, you two guard the portal. Tell anyone coming through to push ahead. The source of the reinforcements must be cut off. I'll scout on ahead. We need to know what we're going to face at that gatehouse.
There are 2 portals being used by the Dremora to transport reinforcements. You have to shut those portals down. Well, Darian ran east and Walksanash ran west, so I imagine that tells us something. Now, stop standing around and move out. Those reinforcements...
My brother and I will guard this area. See what you can do about those reinforcement portals. Oh, right as rain. Besides, we've got the high and mighty Cadwell watching our backs. He might be as crazy as an outhouse skeever, but he's remarkable with that sword.
I'll guard the portal and make sure we maintain control of this location. I may have to take on a Daedroth or 2 single-handedly, but that's to be expected in my line of work. See if you can't cut off the source of those reinforcements, would you?
Watch and learn, my friend. Watch and learn. Let me show you how to close a Daedric portal. One Daedric portal closed, as promised. Now that's how to do it with style.
Hello.
me.
Hail.
These creatures do not frighten me. Let us close this portal. The portal is closed. We make a most effective team, my friend. We must be ever vigilant. Daedra can be as devious as dark clouds on a sunny day.
I think that little wood elf was planning to face Molag Grunda all by herself before Cadwell ran up there. You better catch up with them. I'll make sure nothing follows you.
I got the barrier down. Molag Grunda has to know we're coming. The chasm is nearly ours. I'm going to see who needs help.
I think our friends have the chasm well in hand. What say we pop in for a chat with Molag Grunda? Right, we control the rest of the chasm now, and the troops have matters well in hand. Let's go and have a sit down with Molag Grunda. She's always good for a laugh and a song.
I can't wait to see Molag Grunda's face when she sees us. She and I go way back, you know. Once we get inside, we cross one little bridge to reach the gatehouse. Follow me.
I've always loved this part of the chasm. It's so majestic. Takes your breath away, doesn't it? On occasion, quite permanently. There's a trick to getting into the gatehouse proper, but for the life of me, I can't remember what it is. Not to worry, though. I'm sure it will come back to me. Of course, I remember now. There's a flywheel in each of the side antechambers. We need to start them spinning to open the main door. It's it's all coming back to me. There's a lever across the chamber. Just give it a good tug, and that flywheel will be spinning in no time.
I need aid!
What an impressive door. Look at that craftsmanship. Remarkable. Grunder always had good taste. See, I knew that would work. A word of advice. Guard your pluckables. Grunder enjoys plucking out eyes, spleens,
You
anything
wingless
pluckable.
mortal fools! I'll feast on your flesh after my little pet rips it from your bones! You killed my darling creature! I'll tear out your hearts and serve them to my father on a silver platter!
Well, that was disappointing. Hardly worked up a sweat.
Well done! With Molag Grunda defeated, the entirety of the chasm is now under our control! Gathwin is rounding up the troops. I asked her to keep an eye on Darien as well. He's a terror with the sword, but sometimes I think he takes too many chances. Meet me outside. We have things to discuss, and I find these Daedric halls extremely distasteful.
Maybe next time Grunder will serve a proper tea when guests arrive. I mean, beer. The social graces are simply beyond some people. What's that? Sorry, bit of a problem with the right ear ever since I had that run-in with the Titan. Rings like the bells of Cyrodiil when the weather turns. Oh, she'll be back eventually. You can't really destroy a Daedra no matter how hard you try. I wonder if Grunder likes wildflowers. I'll make sure that we have some waiting for her when she eventually recorporealizes.
Greetings.
Come across the chasm, with most fragrant companions by his side. This one grieves for the friends we lost today, however, and for the losses yet to come.
Greetings.
Damned blood fiend took a piece out of my arm. I got separated from my troop, and a group of blood fiends chased me. I hid in the entrance to a tomb, just to the west of here. If not for my injuries, I would have explored the place. I'm sure there's some fabulous treasures buried inside. My cousin, Natira, she knows all about tombs and ancient ruins and things like that. She spotted the name on the tomb before we got separated. Said it was an old dark elf name, Malsora's Tomb. Treasure and dark elf magic. I'd stake my name on it.
Blood for the Pact.
While you were lollygagging, we secured the area. You did well, my friend. Thanks to your efforts, we control the chasm and can freely move troops between the Hollow City and the front lines. Take a moment to collect your thoughts, then come see me again. This gauntlet we must run is far from over. As soon as you're ready, we have another mission that could use your unique approach. Vampires. The region beyond is crawling with them. Worse, anyone we send in there is turned into one of the foul monsters. And do you see the structure that looms on the horizon? I believe that's one of Molag Bal's infamous harvest hearts. Eager and confident. I like that. I need you to collect blood from the vampires. It's an integral component in the pacification ritual I will perform. Use the blood to mark their lairs. I'll meet you near the heart when you're finished. What are you still doing here? The vampires won't bleed themselves, you know. I have my preparations to deal with, and you have yours. The first step is to make sure the ritual targets the correct creatures. Marking the vampires' lairs with their own blood will guarantee this. In the most expedient manner possible, the ritual unleashes a magic that tracks down the blood and targets the creatures connected to it. Then the vampires will become mindless beasts, no longer capable of posing any threat. I've been developing this ritual for years, but I've never had the chance to test it until now. If this works, it could be a major breakthrough against vampirism. Just another of Molag Bal's clever witticisms, I suppose. It's an orchard from which he plucks the fruit of his vampiric creations. Or something poetic and disturbing like that. But we have a ritual to prepare for. I've read accounts of these foul artifacts. Molag Bal uses them to enslave large communities and to empower specific parts of his divine portfolio. In this case, I believe the heart is greatly increasing the rate at which the vampirism spreads. Not easily. But that's where my ritual comes in. By the time I finish casting it, the heart will be no more, and the vampires will no longer pose a threat to our forces.
Blood for the Pact.